Book your driving lesson now at dla-driving.co.uk. Sponsored by DLA Driving School.
Hello and welcome to O Run the Town, a new era for us, but the same podcast with lots of things to discuss this evening. A magical Monday night under the lights at the Kenny on the anniversary of our most famous final win, and possibly a dress rehearsal for an even bigger final to come. We'll be talking about Middlesbrough, Luton Town, and also we are in the playoffs. We're in the highest position we've been in for 40 years, I believe. And who do we want? We're guaranteed. Who do we want to play in the playoffs? We discussed that a lot more. We've got your 3 rows review and lots more to talk about tonight. With me tonight are Steve and Butaro. Evening, lads. How are you feeling?
Not too bad at all. Thank you. Yes, there you go. Belatedly, the volume is up. But yeah, no, we're doing well, mate. Looking forward to getting into this one.
So last night was an amazing 3 points for us, I think. You know, controversial in places. We've had a lot of vitriol on social media. We've had a lot of people saying that the league's rubbish, but 3 more points and, you know, possibly we deserved them, I think, at the end of it all.
It's been a complete massive overreaction, you know, I mean, particularly about the penalty, which we'll come on to, but I didn't see that when Clark got his foot kicked off against Millwall. I didn't see it when the lad at Sunderland dived in the 85th minute, you know. I think it's just us rattling cages. No one likes us, and good.
Let it continue as well, because, like you say, all these people bitching on social media and whatever else, have they really got a clue what they're talking about?
Salty.
Yeah, that's it.
Just a quick question then. There is a comparison from last season with the saltiness, isn't there? When Nottingham Forest thought they had the right to beat everybody, and they didn't like it when we beat them. Are Middlesbrough fans currently at this time as bad or if worse than they are?
I don't know, because I think Forest successfully sustained their saltiness for a few weeks. So we'll give the Borough fans the benefit of the doubt, especially as they turned up in really good numbers last night, made for a good atmosphere as well. So I think you've got to say fair play to them, the ones that came down last night. There
are opportunities for us to push on and stake our claim. We didn't make many changes last night, and we were. I suppose if you look at the Middlesbrough fans saying it's our B team, we're hiding to nothing.
Nonsense.
If we lost to them, they go, you got beaten by our B team. If they lost to us, you could only just beat our B team, and that sort of thing. Is that something that bothers you?
We had Osho out, Burke out, Fred Onyedimna. These are all key squad players.
What about Woodrow? Is he out as well?
Woodrow out. Yeah. So there's 4 changes, you know, and any 4 of those in the starting lineup, you wouldn't bat an eyelid. So there you go. Maybe Luton's B is better than Middlesbrough's B.
Well, yeah, this is the thing. I mean, I don't understand the whole, you lost, you can only just beat our B team, because you look at the players in their squad, or in their team, should I say, Cameron Archer, he scored the goal, starts from every week. Crooks, one of their most key players. I think, for me, it was Akpom, maybe Hayden Hackney. I recognised on the bench, but apart from that, I looked at the team. I thought it's still a strong Middlesbrough team.
Yeah, I can say I think it showed the quality that they've got in depth. That Akpom is sensational, but he was replaced with someone with outrageous pace and was a real threat. We'll go into the game in greater detail in a minute, but no, we done well. I thought Middlesbrough looked decent. Just a good evening, right?
And the old saying is, you can only beat what's in front of you. So what's the problem? Yeah, we still got the win. The momentum keeps going. And if they want to sit there and rest a few of their players and then lose momentum, then so be it. That helps us out massively. I'll take that.
Momentum is a key word, though, isn't it? And I think Rob Edwards said the same. We want to keep that momentum going, and that's why he's kept us together. Do you think that's the right decision, not resting, the likes of Morris, the likes of Nakamba and things like that?
Well, I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, if your players are fit enough to play, I mean, when did we last play? Last week, Wednesday, wasn't it? So they've had a good, 5-6 days to recover or whatever. No problem there. We're not playing again until Monday now, isn't it? Again, so there's no need to rest players for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think I said a couple of weeks ago about the balancing act, and it may be the point that some people may need to be rested. I didn't realise that final games, 3 games, is Monday. And as Robbie Edwards said, that does give them enough time to sort of rest up, recuperate in between that, as well as keeping up, the training that. Little bit surprised that Clark didn't start last night. I thought he might have wanted to have got more minutes into him. But, apart from that, I think we don't need to be resting players unless they're carrying a little niggle, because Monday should be enough time for them to recover.
Yeah, of course. I'll just add to that, obviously, like you say, about getting minutes as well into the tank. I think it's not much of a case of resting players. It's more of a case of, like I say, getting minutes into players' legs and whatever else. I think that's going to be vital. If we lose a couple of players and you've got players that are sitting there on the fringe that have not really played a lot of football, that could be an issue maybe. I understand it from both points of view, but I'd say it's more getting minutes into legs. Maybe from Borough's point of view, I don't know. But
I think some players as well, they become rusty and sort of lose that touch quite quickly if they're out for a few weeks. I mean, I might be wrong, but I always remember Danny Hilton, when he came back from an injury, he would need a few games to get back in the swing of it. Yeah. And I think that there are players like that, which is why I was, again, a little bit surprised that Clark wasn't given a start. But again, we don't know the injury situation. So,
well, before we start talking about the game, let's look at your 3-word reviews. Reese said a crucial comeback win. Adds Jekyll and Hyde. Richard never gave up. JP, a proper fighting spirit. Mark, momentum into the playoffs, which we've already said that one. Alfie, never a pen. We can talk about that in a bit. JT, the whole league rattled, and I sort of agree with that one.
That's the one we love, isn't it?
And George, teams like Luton. Take your pick, fellas. What do you think?
Well, like we just said, I think whole league rattled. I think we've got to pick up on that. Like we've already mentioned, obviously, but the fact that the league are rattling around about Luton it's amazing. Because I tell you what, I think that smells like victory in itself, doesn't it, sometimes?
Yeah, I mean, I've done a load of ticks, I've done a couple of question marks, but yeah, I've put a heart around a whole league rattled. It is great that they're all bitching and moaning. How dare we get a soft pen? Yeah. Crappy Luton.
No, it's terrible, isn't it?
There's one more, actually. It says, Steve, lost my keys.
Yes. Are you suggesting that was me?
Yes.
Yeah, absolute nightmare. On the way back to the car, which is parked in an exclusive car park behind Luton Police Station, and I said to my grandson, I haven't got the key. So I had to run back to the ground, see if the ticket office was open, coughed up a lung because I'm so unfit. And I'm still currently hoping that the key will turn up. And I had to go and knock on the door and get my car out of the car park this morning. So good evening.
It was a different evening at the Kenny last night. Let's talk about the game in a bit more detail. We had one change from Reading, Adebayo in for Woodrow, and we put out a fairly strong side. So you was expecting us to maybe take the initiative straight away, and I felt that maybe that Middlesbrough were really up for it. They were really quick. I felt they were quick all the time. I think they were constantly running with the ball at us and constantly, it was hard to defend against them to start with. And we had a cagey start. I mean, I think Adebayo had the first shot on goal. But after that, they had a fair amount of possession, didn't they? Steve, what do you think?
I thought they were really good with their passing. Movement was good. It was clever. They've got an abundance of pace.
Yeah.
If that's 4 or 5 changes, then they've obviously got a decent squad. Maybe if we do face them later on in the season on a big pitch like Wembley, our press might be a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, I was thinking exactly the same thing, to be fair, about obviously the press on the bigger pitch. But yeah, like I say, excuse me, bloody hell.
Right,
hay fever,
you're right there, Dave.
Hay fever, man, that's what it is. But no, I mean, look, like you say, the passing was great and whatever else, but they didn't really hurt us. I said to you last night, Dave, straight away after the game, I said, we had a little conversation, obviously, Luke was there, and he was like, do you know what? Luke said, I felt like we got dominated by them, but do you know what? Maybe they had more of the ball, but they did not hurt us. I never felt threatened at any point.
Well, no, I mean, he didn't have a lot of saves to make, Horvath. Again, people have said all season, Luton like to be sort of without the ball. You know, it's the quick turnovers and we hit them. And, you know, if Middlesbrough wanted to come on to us, fine. But, you know, no denying it, they were good. They were good passing, good movement, a lot of pace. But, yeah, maybe that played into our hands.
There were a couple of chances they had in the first half. Izzy Jones... I think he had their first chance. He passed it to Crooks and had a good shot, but I think it was a bit tame. And there was a couple of other they had a lot of possession where they moved the ball around a lot but didn't create anything. Or they might have had a shot off target, but up until they scored, which we'll talk about in a bit, not one on target. Is that down to us or is that down to them?
Of course.
Well, I think a lot of it's down to us. You know, we've seen it throughout the season where if we haven't got a lot of the ball, but you think, well, you know, we weren't really put under pressure. We weren't scrambling the ball away. 3 times in the first half, they played that diagonal counter ball, sort of at Sonny or over Sonny to I can't remember the lad that came in.
It was Archer, was it?
Archer, yeah. I mean, Christ, he had some pace.
Yeah.
And 3 times they played that, and for the first 2 times it nearly sort of landed, but the 3rd time it did. So they were clearly identifying sort of where we weren't as mobile. I thought that they'd done a fairly good job on Doughty as well. They were pushing him back. They were exploiting maybe, because again, he's not the quickest that we've got. I think he had a difficult night because they weren't letting him get forward, particularly in the first half. So, you know, tactically they were aware. You know, you got to say fair play to them. But, you know, I put my 3-word review in, and it was we found a way. You know, and
we did all season.
There are so many different ways you've got to win against. All right, I've exaggerated it, but it was 3.
We found way.
Why do I do this? No, we found a way. There's so many different ways of winning a game, and again, we found a way.
When they took the lead, I mean, you've said there's a lot of long balls before they actually did the long ball that sort of, you know, did us in there. We were on the attack with that. We had the ball in our half, and we lost it down by the tunnel where we are.
Yeah.
They were quick away, Bataro, weren't they? And that, I know you love Sonny. And I know that people will moan about our goalkeeper, who's kept how many clean sheets this evening? This season. This evening. This evening. This season. Is it 19?
Something.
19 clean sheets. So, you know, but it was a mistake.
It was, like you say, it was a mistake. Yeah, it was a miscommunication also. But the only thing I would question is from Sonny Bradley, why the hell was he so far in his own half, basically, when all the back 3 had all pushed up on the halfway line or whatever, or a bit.
Do you think
he was about 10 yards behind? Do
you think he was concerned about his pace?
I mean, I think he knows he's not the quickest player, not the most mobile. We know that. I mean, don't take a genius really to work it out, does it? But
no, because there was a couple of times where he was deeper than everyone else, and I think that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, but it's a bit weird because, like you say, if he was on the halfway line. Was it Archer? It was Archer that went through, wasn't it? Yeah, Archer, he has to then hold his run. He has to then be in his own half. But he's already got that's what I looked at after on the replay. He's already got the extra 5-10 yards, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And obviously, ball's gone over.
But
miscommunication between him and the keeper. He gave up.
The previous 2 times they tried that ball, it was straight over Bradley. And maybe that was why he was deeper. He was aware of it. He was worried about it. Horvath, that's twice he's done that now this season. He's done it against West Brom as well.
Yeah,
you've got to clear it out. When you go off the line out the penalty area like that, you have to get it, and that's twice this season that he's failed with that.
Okay, so I accept that it's twice this season, but 19 clean sheets, it says something else, doesn't it? So
for the whole defensive unit.
So I was just about to say, as a whole defensive unit, I mean, Horvath has had a good season. Yeah, he doesn't deserve any stick, deserves nothing like that. I'm not saying that. But what's made him look a lot better than what statistically is that line of defence in front of him. And for me, that is more key than. And
I think we touched on it last week, you know, because I don't think he's had any man of the match performances. So again, not digging him out, but we've been so good defensively, and we've really protected him brilliantly.
And everyone's done their job, haven't they? Sorry. So yeah.
If Steve, if Sonny stands up rather than jumps in, does he have a better chance of stopping that goal?
I don't know, mate. I don't know.
I think it's irrelevant personally.
Yeah, I think I think that was going to be going in.
It's inevitable, isn't it? I mean, as soon as you've gone around the goalkeeper, you've got all the goal to aim at. It doesn't matter if he slides in his arse or he doesn't. Either way, that ball's going in unless he absolutely cocks it up. That have to be one monumental fuck up for him to miss that. And I know obviously we had a debate in the car yesterday. I was defending Sonny, as I always do, fanboy. But no, look, I can't understand the whole thing of Sonny Bradley's going to slide on his backside. It's like, yeah, but either way, the guy scores the goal.
Yeah.
He's not missing from there. Not a player of his quality.
No, but he was really calm. The way he sort of cut in between them, so he was really calm with it. He wasn't fazed by it at all. I think again, for us to have the best chance of getting through this, you've got to hope that Osho's back, and maybe they can patch up Burke, because as well as Sonny being one of the slow defenders, I think he was aware of it, and I think it affected how he played positionally, and maybe looked a little bit on edge because he knew there was absolute pace to burn coming at him.
He dominated some areas in the defence, though, in the second half. And let's go on to the second half, because 4 minutes in, and we score direct from a corner.
Yes, yeah.
Totally direct from the corner.
Yeah. Lovely goal.
And we don't score from corners.
Well, Lockyer was in the right place, right time, moved quite well, and that sort of gives us a bit of a boost, didn't it?
The Sky commentators, sort of, when they were doing the sort of recap of the game, they showed it. He'd done his own block on the guy, then sort of ran around someone and was just there to put it in. It was great movement, just great awareness, yeah.
Was that the Middlesbrough player that was on the floor?
Yes.
Right, I didn't see that.
I didn't see that, to be fair.
Yeah, the start of his move was him shoulder to shoulder, not a foul ref. and then he sort of moved around and, just met it. Brilliant.
It's about time we score from direct from a corner, Bataro.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, I can't remember the last time. I think we had this conversation maybe 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. But yeah, I can't remember the last time we scored directly from a cross straight to his summer's head. But no, look, beautiful, beautiful header. They're my favourite kind of goals on ones, because if you catch a header sweetly like that, I mean, he's lost, like you say, I think 2 men in the end, hasn't he? And he's somehow got a free header away. Yeah. That's not even easy to direct it how he did. And
I was going to say, he proper placed it, didn't he? Proper placed it in off the post.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful header. But look, you can't give someone of his quality and team of the season, you can't give him that much time and space.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
And big mention to Tom Lockyer this year, because he has been incredible.
Yeah, he has been absolutely immense. At the start of the season, Jones wasn't regularly picking him as well.
Yeah.
Again, it just shows how comfortable he is with things, and he's just man mountain really.
We got there. I thought we'd get the momentum from the second half, and we had a few chances going forward, and we were creating spaces and chances. But I think the next best chance fell to Middlesbrough, and there was a delightful move.
Down there left, was it? Down left,
there's a little triangle, and I think Crooks, or what's his name, Crooks?
Crooks.
He just flashed it past the post. I mean, if they have their number one striker on, does he score there?
No, I don't know.
You can't make that argument. You don't know, do you?
Yeah, but to be fair, I mean, you look at where he's hit it, right? I mean, the other part of the goal to the right-hand side, I feel like it was covered. But Horvath's positioning for that instance was very good as well. So he's positioned himself pretty much straight to the shot. But you got to think, he's come at it sort of like face on with sort of like the left hand side of the post. Well, as he facing it, should I say?
Yeah,
it's pretty much in line with him. So in order for him to get that ball through any of those players into the far corner or squeeze it in that other corner, for me that's probably a 15% chance of scoring.
They did,
I don't feel like it was a clear-cut chance for me.
No, they did
Good
play
move,
some triangles really well, to be honest with you. But first half, I think we paid them too much respect. Second half, we were much more into them. Yeah. There was more tempo, more urgency. And again, as a result of that, the crowd were buoyed and a bit more encouragement, and it just sort of escalated from there.
I know we look through rose-tinted specs sometimes, but that's not the view that other people have seen us. They look at us and go, rubbish, not great. How do you get there?
Yeah, but they're people that don't watch us for 46 games throughout the season, aren't they? So, why does their opinion matter to us? That's all I would say. Because I couldn't give a flying F, you know what I mean, what they think, to be fair. But no, look, if you can sit there, right, throughout a course of 46 games and say, we don't deserve to be where we are, and how many points we've got after keeping, 19, 20 clean sheets this season, having the best away record in the league or whatever.
Which is crazy. So
You see what I'm saying?
Crazy
All the
stat.
stats are in our favour, I think, I think all of our stats are in the top 8, I believe.
It is down to attitude. It is that never giving up mentality, their absolute desperation and desire to succeed and using what talent they've got and working as a team. It's no fluke. We were there last year.
Exactly.
We're even better this year. If people don't like the style or whatever, fine. But you can't say we're rubbish, because over a season, if you're rubbish, we're a Watford.
13th, 14th?
Lower.
They're lower.
Yeah, so, no, but it's not a fluke. It's not a fluke. We are where we deserve to be.
Yeah, so I'll be honest, I've seen a lot of teams in this division as well, right, who so-called bigger teams, ex-Premier League, all this money, all the budget and whatever else. I tell you what, we play a lot better football than them. All right, people might say that's us being biased now, or me, sorry, but I feel like we can adapt so many different, not formation, but different styles of play. We're good on the press, off the ball. We're good in possession. We can mix it up if we wanted to.
Well, it's finding the different ways to win a game against different opposition.
Yeah. And if you can grind out a result, I'm not being funny, the people think Sheffield United rubbish. How many times have they ground out a result this season? Are they a rubbish team then? And of course they're not, because they're second and they're Sheffield United. They got players worth 10, 15 million pounds in their squad. They're not rubbish because people look at that. It's foolish, but do you know what? People can keep writing us off, calling us rubbish, because I tell you what, that will spur us on. And that will give us momentum.
And our little £2 million striker with 20 goals.
Yes,
not
beautiful.
bad.
Well, talking about Morris, let's talk about the controversial penalty issue. I've seen many people say, well, Sky firstly said it wasn't a penalty. The Middlesbrough fans are saying he cheated. Steve, what's your view?
There is an angle on the TV, and it's the camera where basically Morris is running towards that camera. And it does look, when they slow it down, it looks like the keeper's midriff does touch Morris's right foot, because you can see his right lower part of his leg sort of go up a little bit. He does stumble. He stumbles quite easily. It does look like there was minimal contact. But, as he said, atrocious first touch. He was laughing about it afterwards. Atrocious first touch, but he chased it down, he got the touch. And, yeah, it did look like it. People are saying about VAR, that would have been overturned. I don't think it would, because it wasn't a glaring error from the ref, who, again, didn't fall for most of the diving and time wasting. It wouldn't have been overturned because, in my opinion, it wasn't a glaring error. Unlucky. We've had Sunderland, we've had Millwall. About time we got one back.
And do you know what? Like you say, I'm all for it, like you say. But it was a penalty. For me, it's a definite penalty. I'm sorry, right? But any slight minimal contact that the goalkeeper does make, when a player, especially like as powerful as Morris is, when a player's running at that pace, at full belt, you are not, I'm sorry, but you are, the slightest of touch is going to knock you off balance. I mean, yourself, you used to sprint. I mean, it's probably been a few years for you boys, isn't it? Especially you, Steve. But
this is
never
a new
sprinted
thing.
in my life.
It's a new thing. You two have to each other.
Yeah, we'll fight out in the garden after. But no, look, what I'm saying is,
how much contact is enough contact to go down?
Any contact, if it's enough to put you off your stride or to make you think twice about where you're going to plant your foot, then it's contact. It's a penalty. And I had an argument with someone last night about it, trying to say it wasn't a penalty. I've slowed it down today. I widened the screen. There's definite contact.
It would be nice to go back to the old days where, you would have to be absolutely clobbered before you go down, but we're not. This is the world we're in. There was, in my opinion, the minimum of contact. So, to me, that's the rules. That's what everyone else is playing by. So that's what we're going to play by.
Yeah, agreed. And also, as well, the goalkeeper, if you're going to go and put yourself in that situation as a goalkeeper and you're going to go flying, then what do you expect?
Adebayo picked up the ball, held on to it for a bit, and then gave it to Morris to score his 20th goal. He put the penalty away really, really well.
Respect that as well.
And at 2-1 up, and before we move on, actually, just thinking about it, when all the Middlesbrough fans are going, it's a cheat, it's a cheat, it's a cheat. Have you seen the penalty incident they had? Archer versus Burnley.
Yeah, and against us, Osho was chewing an elbow that went into his face for the header that they got right at the last minute. It was on It was on Twitter earlier. Osho got a big elbow in the face, went down. So there you go.
So 2-1, we're doing really well, and then it was. I don't want to say back to the wall, but there's one person I do really need to talk about, and that's Luke Berry and his unbelievable, amazing challenge to save a goal with Taro. We've got an absolute gem with you don't remember it, do you?
What?
You don't remember it?
No, I don't.
Steve, because I know Steve.
Hang on about what?
There was a brilliant challenge.
He was a good distance away from the striker, and he sort of ran back to goal and then slid round and block challenged it. When the guy shot the ball, he block challenged it, and the guy sort of flew up in the air.
Yeah.
Sensational tackle.
Wow, that's terrible.
But he done 3, 4 or 5 tackles.
Yeah.
I mean, normally Berry comes on and he's like an offensive genius. He creates that bit of space, that angle pass. But last night it was more of a defensive role. But again, what a guy. The desire to do well for Luton, whatever is asked of him, he never moans.
Mentality of that guy is ridiculous.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
he says that he loves being at Luton. He loves playing, whether it's 5 minutes or once every fortnight. And you could just see it. But last night, defensively, brilliant. Because he reads the game so well, he just knew where to be. And I know we do it every week, but Nakamba, oh my God.
Yeah. The only thing is, though, we come to expecting that, don't we?
Yeah, but that was another level again last night. Probably because he was so busy.
Yeah, he's ridiculous, isn't he?
Also, we brought on 17-year-old Joe Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, fair play to him. I mean, 17 years of age coming on against Middlesbrough. I mean, to be fair, like I say, it is still a big game. Obviously, you still want to finish third. Don't get it wrong, he looks a bit nervy. I mean, so would I be, to be fair, if I'd come on do you know what I mean? I'd be bricking it. But no, you've got to put your hands up and go, do you know what? Fair play. He's only going to get better. I mean, I've not seen anything of him other than yesterday for 20 minutes or whatever it was.
Yeah, same as that Bataro.
Never even heard of him, I'll be honest.
I mean, Edward said he's not going to put someone in there just for the hell of it. They're going to have earned it in training and in their sort of, academy games, youth team games, whatever. So, he was happy to put him in there. Why not put him in a big game atmosphere like that? It just makes the learning experience quicker for him.
So that's 3 more points for Luton Town. Cementing that 3rd place for now. Let's hope Sheffield United lose 4 games on the trot.
Don't.
Good to see our youngsters coming through, of course. Just a few facts that producer Jacob's written down for us tonight. Middlesbrough have only kept 1 clean sheet in the last 24 away league matches, and we're unbeaten in 12. And Colton Morris, obviously, having his 20th goal of the season. Amazing return.
And I think I heard earlier, the first player to do it since Steen back in the Championship.
Fair play to him.
Yeah.
We're all dreaming. We're all dreaming about that Wembley final. We're all dreaming to get, 1 place further, maybe twice, hopefully 2 places further than we were last season. We know when we're going to play. If we finish 3rd, we're playing on the Saturday. If we finish 4th, we're playing on the Sunday. So that's May 13, May 14. But the question is, who are we going to play? And really then, I know it's a difficult one. Who do we want to play or who don't we want to play?
Yeah, so there's an abundance of worrying to do.
Yes.
Yeah. I think geographically, you're talking West Brom and Coventry, but I think our best chance as it stands at the moment is Blackburn, because I think... I know they're in a minus goal difference, I believe, -2. So they're going to have to get more points than Sunderland and Coventry. So that they've got to do more. But that is who I would like, to be honest with you. But at the end of the day, there's nothing you can do about it. No one's going to want to face us. I think everyone in that 4 is going to be worried about each other.
Bataro, do we need to fear anybody?
I mean, look, why fear anyone? What's the point? You just get on with it and do the job. But I'll be honest, one team I do not want to face is West Brom. If they get in there, they sneak in there, I don't want West Brom. When they came to us, and obviously I think it might have been Jacob that put last night on the podcast page on Twitter, I went, well done, Borough, best thing we've had at the Kenilworth. No, I disagree. West Brom were the best team I've seen down at the Kenny this year. Or this season, should I say.
They were definitely the two best.
Yeah.
Definitely the two
But
best.
for me,
that we've
West
had down
Brom, you look at the play they've got. I know they've been underperforming this season. They've not always got results, but I've got a feeling that when a big game comes up, they've got some big game players in there.
Yeah,
and it's frightening.
We discussed West Brom a few weeks ago, didn't we? You know, they were absolutely sensational at our place, and then after that, they done absolutely nothing for weeks and weeks and weeks. You know, they are building up a bit of momentum. I think momentum is something you need to be wary of. You know, that team that sneaks in there right at the end. You know, Sunderland won at West Brom. They're going to be so buoyed by that. That would be a really difficult first leg up at Sunderland.
You're not wrong. When we think about the playoffs, and you say, should we be worried about playing Middlesbrough in the final?
Nah, I mean, look.
Assuming we get there, obviously.
Why worry about it? You've just got to do it. I mean, if you're going to get promoted, why fear? You just got to go and do it. At the end of the day, if you look at it and go, I don't want to play these, or I don't want to play that, then... I mean, I'm sure do you reckon the players are sitting there saying that? Of course they're not. They're going, fucking bring whoever's going to come. No, I don't give a shit. I'll take them.
Yeah, because over the season... Let's say it's finished now. We've finished 4 points above them. So we've played all the same teams, some bigger pitches, some smaller pitches. So, you know, we have proved over the season to be better than them. We won last night.
Yeah.
We found a way. So why should we be fearful?
When you're on a two-leg game, and I often wonder this, is it a real advantage to be home second and away first? Would we not prefer to play at home and try and get in front?
No, for me, I would rather be second leg at home, knowing what we've got to do, you know, and the fact that, you know, we were predominantly good away, but struggling a bit at home, but we're not now. We're good home and away. So let's make sure we're still in the tie, whoever we face, and then the second leg, let's make sure we know exactly what we've got to do.
Yeah,
and tear it up.
I'll be honest, right? From my point of view, I know I said this many times in the last however many years, but you're probably going to get a bit annoyed about this, but I don't really think it makes a difference, personally. I mean, crowd maybe, atmosphere, I understand that, but for me, I feel like, especially in our situation, our away record is so good, for me it doesn't matter. I look at it and I go, when it's like one-off games or it's a playoff game, I think for myself, from my point of view, I look at it and go, excuse me, jeez, I know what's going on my throat today, but yeah. But I look at it and I think to myself, you can win any game on the day, whatever and wherever it is, it doesn't matter. Just go and do the job. So for me, I don't personally, I mean, it's nice to be at home for the second leg, especially being on a Tuesday night as well, which we hope it's going to be on Tuesday or Wednesday night, it don't really matter. So I'd rather be at home, having to travel sort of like 4 or 5 miles down the road rather than 200 miles down the road, do you know what I mean? So that's the only bonus for me, but...
When you look at the table, though, you know, you've got Swansea down in 12th with 62 points, and they can still get...
Yeah, and they're doing well at the moment.
Yeah, they can still get there. Yeah. So it's a relief that we are sitting there guaranteed where we are. Yeah. And it's a bit of a lottery, isn't it? You know, is there anyone apart from Blackburn that you fear? You don't fear, sorry?
Norwich. Can they still get in there?
I don't know. But
Norwich have got 62 points.
Yeah,
but you know, everybody wins at the weekend or whenever, then they're out of it.
I think I said last time, I think Millwall would be our most difficult tie because of similarities in style and stuff like that. But no, I don't fear any of them.
Well, we asked you guys, who would you want to play in the playoffs? And Barney said, I would take anyone, to be honest. I need to keep the unbeaten run going against Blackburn and Hull to keep the momentum going. And he's already absolutely crapping myself, though. So, you know, Barney, I think we're all with you on that one. Luton Town Excise says, I think we'll play West Brom. And, you know, like Bataro says, you know, it's one team that we probably don't want to play. Fraser, any team that does not start with me. Kenny, Preston or Blackburn, hopefully they seem the easiest out of them all. Craig, they're all tough. He's right. Coventry or Sunderland are the most fun away days. Would have liked Norwich, but they're not going to get there. Katie, all the clubs should be saying we don't want to play Luton. Why haven't we said that, Katie? A good point.
Yeah.
Lee, Millwall or Blackburn, Swansea look on fire right now, and Coventry have some players who can hurt teams. So for me, they are the teams to avoid in the semis. And for James said, for the day out, Coventry or West Brom. For the team, Preston or Blackburn.
Yeah. I think Blackburn, because I don't think they've got as many goals in them as the other teams have.
Well, we'll know soon enough.
Yeah.
And hopefully come next weekend, we'll have a bit clearer picture of who might be taking those things. Some other news, really, little bit of thing. Tom Lockyer, obviously, we touched on this earlier. EFL Team of the Season. He totally deserves that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And our Hatters fan, Les Miller, supporter of the season, isn't he? And that's an amazing effect. I've done all the travel since 1979 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. 77, 79.
77,
yeah.
a long time ago. It's really, really good. And our friend Mark Crowther is still raising money for his good cause.
Yeah.
And he's all over the place. Should we just give him a call to see if he's available? Let's have a look.
Hello.
Hi, Mark. It's Dave from Over the Town. Whereabouts are you, Mark?
I'm in Oxford.
You're in Oxford. So, and how many stadiums have you visited right now?
So Oxford was the stadium number 88. So 88 out of 116. So
halfway there.
In terms of stadiums, it sounds like I'm nearly there, but I've got a really tough week coming up. That I know my legs are going to be complaining, but it's all for good cause.
Bataro and Steve are with us. I'm sure that you both are wishing him well. And Bataro, I know you cannot wait to meet him for the last leg.
Oh, no, of course. It's going to be such fun, mate, to be fair. But how you doing, Mike? You all right, are you?
Yeah, I'm good. It's
You sound a bit deflated there, mate. You sound a bit like you need to go to sleep for like a couple of hours.
Well, today's just been a really long day. My navigation wasn't my best friend today, shall we just say.
You said this before, Mark, haven't you, mate?
You got us lost once as well.
Yeah, it has days where it behaves and days where it doesn't. So today was so obviously I stayed in Woking last night with a view to see our game, which I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts on the game. So I got to see the game and set off from Woking this morning.
Right.
So I basically went to Aldershot Town, then I went to Reading, and I went to Maidstone, and then I went to Wickham, and their manager, Matt Bloomfield, met me.
Wow.
You must be getting bored of standing outside stadiums, Mark. I don't think you're cycling anywhere. You've hired a van, or are you just going from stadium to stadium, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm just looking like, and then I'll basically having no sleep to make it look like I'm cycle.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you've
that's
been doing
right.
your squats just to pump your legs up a little bit. That's what it was, wasn't it?
And so basically went to Wickham, and so my final stadium of the day was Oxford, and because they are playing Cheltenham tonight, I bumped into Ben Ray.
Ah, okay. How was he? Is he all right?
Yeah, he's literally, I thought, well, if I get there in time, I'll have a chat with him. And then literally I got there, the coach arrived, and he said, I saw you from the coach. So, yeah, he's on good form, and we had a nice long chat. And, yeah, if it wasn't for the fact I'd been cycling all day and I hadn't eaten, I probably would have watched the game. But I'm about a mile from the ground. But, no, it's really, really positive. Donations are at £4,285.
Brilliant.
Good.
And if people want to donate, Mark, we say this every time we speak to you, where can they donate for you?
So basically, if they go to my website, which is markfootballcyclechallenge.co.uk, and then if you're in the area and want to come say hi, great. But there's information about charities and there's a link so that you can donate. Every donation is really appreciated. I'm just trying to raise as much awareness and as much money as I can for. So I know you probably mentioned it, but I'm basically raising money for mind, for mental health, prostate cancer, and for Teenage Cancer Trust.
Yeah, well, let's see if we can get it over £5,000, shall we?
Yeah, let's push it on. Mark, lovely to talk to you. Bataro and me are looking forward to meeting you for that last leg. We will speak again, I'm sure. keep safe, and good luck with the rest of it.
And if you can't keep it safe,
All
keep
right.
it legal. Sorry.
Cheers, and
Take care.
have a good show.
Thank you. Cheers,
Take
Mark.
care,
See you,
Mark.
Mark.
See you
Take
soon,
care, mate.
Bye.
That's all we've got time for tonight. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy the show, leave a comment on the YouTube and our comments. Thanks to Stephen Pataro.
Pleasure.
Didn't do bad on my first one. We'll be back next week. Again, we'll be recording on a Tuesday, not the Monday, for obvious reasons. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.
Can't tell.